challenges of practicing inside special teams, trying to keep on challenges for you?
Yeah, I think challenges I mean, really and truly, nothing changes in terms of how we're going out there and trying to execute, right? Like it's at the end of the day, it's all about footwork and technique and strike and releases. Obviously for the specialists, obviously it's a little bit more challenging for them. But I think it's great for them because at the end of the day, it kind of allows them to narrow their focus a little bit more, not so much on the results, but just the little things that we're trying to work on right now. So that's why really and truly in the springtime, I really kind of enjoy it because those guys don't get lost in what truly matters right now. And that's getting better every single day.
I think it was like a week or two ago, Pat said, not really jokingly, he said, yeah, we finally kicked a ball in practice. Did you kind of put that part of it off, the actual like punting and kicking, just to work on like scheme and system for the first few weeks of camp?
No, they've been punting on their own, but purposely because we're not in full pads early on, because those first two practices we're in shells and spiders, to stay away from punt because I want to be able to strike people. I want to be able to use our hands. That's an important part of it because it's such an intricate play and the timing of everything's so important. That's why and that's how we teach things. So ultimately, that's why we didn't kick a lot those first 3 days. But now, I mean, Junko's punted over 100 balls and we've charted over probably 150, and he's doing a really, really outstanding job. Our snappers are doing a phenomenal job, both Nico and Upa. So I'm really fired up where those guys are at right now.
Are there any young guys, like, you guys always got to find gunners and guys that put on the line, they get you down the field and hustle. Are there any young guys that are standing out and fighting their way into more prominent roles in your special teams?
Absolutely. I think there's a really great culture right now that we're building. And it starts with the coaching staff. Like it takes an army to be great on special teams. It takes everybody in this facility, the equipment staff, right? Myself, our special teams GA Danny, and across the board. And so right now, I think we've got a great culture of energy in our special teams meetings every single day, and it's translating out on the field. And it's not coming from just the youth, right? Like there's older guys that are proven players that are so bought in right now in ST, and that pulls those younger guys along. And I would say right now, I mean, I know Cruz Brookings, he's going to be a phenomenal football player across the board. He's doing a great job. Competitive. He's one of our top pack point guys right now. Nigel Maynard's doing a really, really good job. Talking about a kid that should be going to prom probably here this week, and he's been bought in and he's flying around. Some of our younger receivers are starting to do some more and more things and flashing a little bit more. So, I'm excited about the entire room, not just the young guys.
How key are those veteran guys bought into special teams just to tell the ones coming in, like, hey, this is important. There's a role here. You can obviously boost what you're doing.
It's huge, and across the board, what we teach on special teams is it's about those transferable skills, right? Like when we're on that football field, we're becoming a better football player. Make no mistake about that. And so how we teach things on special teams is like if I'm working a punt release, well, heck, that's helping me as a receiver, right? If I'm working kickoff, that's helping me as a receiver and it's helping me as a DB, right? Because it's all about time and space. So when we're doing those special teams drills, yes, the byproduct of that is going to be us being dominant on special teams, but it's also making them better football players, and ultimately, I got to tell the guys, you got to be selfish about your own success, right? Like you got to go out there and you have to have a little bit of an edge, right, in how you're going about stuff. So those older guys have bought into that, and again, it trickles down to those guys and the coaching staff. They're doing an unbelievable job across the board of coaching the things that we want and how we want it done, and that's what makes it fun to be in my shoes.
How have you seen that edge manifest itself out on the field? These guys competing against each other.
Yeah, I think this year, from what I've heard, there's a lot more competition, in how we do special teams. And so that's how that edge is going to be developed, because at the end of the day, right, special teams is a lot of time and space. It's huge chunks of yardage that's being exchanged every time we step onto that field, and it's about winning your one-on-one matchup, right? You take a little box around yourself or a little Madden circle around yourself. It's about winning that matchup, and so that's where, and then it comes all down to technique and effort, right? And so that's where that edge is developed, right? It's developed within your technique, belief in your technique, and then going out there and just playing 100 miles an hour and cutting it loose.
Given all the experience and the success that Ben has had, does it almost feel like you don't really have to worry about him a whole lot? You kind of let him do something.
Yeah. No, I think Ben, I'll tell you what, Ben, it's been a true pleasure to get to be around Ben. And I say that not because he's standing right over there, because the dude is elite, okay? Make no mistake about it, the dude's the best kicker in the United States of America. That's a fact, right? And I see it every single day. It's been so fun to be a part of for him. And I'm so excited for what he's about to do. And ultimately, he's the leader of our specialist room, and that's what you're starting to see from those guys. Because he has such a confidence about himself. We're talking about it last night up in my office. Like, he's been through so many different things, ups and downs. Well, guess what? That's set him up to have such a great year right now. All those ups and downs. And that's what he's done because he's learned from it. Right? That's what makes him different.
How have you seen him kind of help the younger and newer guys?
He's a selfless human being, and that's what makes him such a great leader. I mean, he's part of our Eagles committee with Coach Narduzzi and our players vote on. And that says a lot for specialists to be a part of that, and so he's selfless. He's always trying to help those guys, and that's the thing about it. I always challenge older specialists. Like, they know exactly what they need to do and how they need to do it. So I always challenge them to kind of help those younger guys because they're going through a lot. The operation time's a lot faster. The pressure's a lot faster out at practice. They feel that more. And so to have an older guy that's been through so much, I mean, they need to be sponges. If they're not sponges, that's on them.
What do you feel you've learned from your tight end room this morning?
That they love football. They love football, and I'm so appreciative of that because ultimately I wasn't the one that brought in a lot of those guys. But man, they love getting better. They love being coached, and they love being coached hard too. Because ultimately in our offense, there's a lot on their plate right now. And Coach Bell's aggressive, and I love it, and they love it, right? Because ultimately, if we go out there and we're timid and we're not embracing the challenge and the grind and the toughness of everything, then we're cheating ourselves, And so that's what they've really adopted right now, and they love that part of it. They love the process of that, and that's been really fun to coach.
Have any of them surprised you at all?
Jake Rinda continues to surprise me every single day with his attempt to be physical. He's a really, really athletic dude. Gavin's surprised me in just his feel for route running. He's getting better and better every single day because I think that's something he needs to improve at, and he knows that, and he's doing that. And then, Jake Overman's, he's kind of surprised me a little bit with just his intent and his pop as well into contact. And then, Josh Altsman, golly, a local kid that, he will throw his body on the line every single day. He wakes up and eats glass, I think, every morning, and it makes it fun to coach.
What's the big challenge that you have? Like, a lot of the talk from last year and the year before was getting Gavin more involved, getting him more targets. What's your role as a tight ends coach? New offense, and you're trying to get who used to be offense, but your role as far as helping Cade say, like, hey, here's ways to get Gavin in better spots.
Yeah, I think that's number one. Cade does such a great job of doing that for players. Like, he is so aware of what our strengths are as an offense, who our strengths are as an offense, and then how we're going to be able to utilize those strengths, right? And whether it's movement and all those different pieces, And so ultimately, to me, like I tell those guys, it's on you. If we put something in that is designed to get the tight end the ball, and then we go out there and bust, I'm like, you're out of your mind. That's on you. So now I can't. Like, why would Coach Bell call that play then? And so ultimately it is on them. Like, they have to take that ownership, and then that's why they've done a great job of studying and getting in the offense, because Coach Bell's going to get them the ball. Like, he's going to get – that's what his offense has done at every level he's been at. You're seeing it right now at practice. And the guys know that. They see it, too, every single day.
But is there any dialogue between you and Cade about just like, hey, like, what if we work this – like you can say, hey, what if we work this in more here, or is it more so like Cade's like, hey, this is it, let's get these –
Oh, absolutely not. No, Coach Bell is so open to anything. It's actually – that's why it's so fun in the offensive staff room every day. It's literally a party in there from like 12:30 until we go to staff meeting, because we love being around each other, which is infectious to our players. And Coach Bell's open to anything. He's not set in his ways at all, and that's why he's been able to develop this offense the way that he has. And so, I can come in there and show him a clip of Travis Kelce doing something, and shoot 2 days later, boom, it's in for our install. And that's across the board for everybody.
You said Coach Altsman eats glass for breakfast.
Yeah.
What is that out in the field that makes you say that?
Just reckless abandonment with his body. We put in our split zone stuff, and he's coming flying across and just leaving it all out there. For being quote unquote a little bit of an undersized guy, he is straining all the time. You can just see it. We kind of joke around in ST meetings whenever he takes a rep, and I kind of like a dog, because that's what it sounds like. You can just see his body doing that. That's him, man. It makes it fun to coach every single day.
The opportunities they've had, have you seen your tight ends take advantage, and do you think they're going to be a big part of this offense?
Oh, absolutely. Gavin caught a touchdown today. He's doing a great job with some feel in our passing game. So absolutely, they're going to take advantage of it. And again, it all starts on the outside. We've got some really, really good skill players outside that can take the top off. And so now the secondaries, those linebackers are getting a little bit more depth in their drops and their pass coverage fits. And so now that opens us up in the intermediate game and the underneath game, and you get a big old dancing bear like Gavin, who can catch the ball, get vertical, can run, stiff arm, jump over people. That makes it special.
Anything final for Coach? We'll get to Mr. Sauls.
Yes, ma'am.
So, with the departure of Malcolm Epps, going to the NFL, who are you looking to step up to join Gavin, so we can have a strong tight
Yeah, it's by committee, right? And that's the tight end's position because they're all such unique body types. Obviously Gavin's he's kind of the whole body that you want because he can do a little bit of both or a lot of both. Where Jake Renda's a little bit more of your perimeter out in space type tight end, and Jake Overman's your more physical guy, and Altzman and Cole Mitchell. So it's always going to be by committee. And so for me, I just think with our room, it's just every single guy buying in to get better every single day and knowing the offense. Because like I said, Coach Bell is going to move people around and put them in positions to be successful. So it's on us to make sure we know the ins and outs of all that so we can go out there and execute.
Coach, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.